Okay. Day 11. Let's try. I'm gonna finish Hot Dog Ria today. And then start EDP 445 Area. I have KST with me. They are here. Ow, I just fucking elbowed a cube.
Good, I tabbed out once and now my frames are destroyed for some reason.
Rip.
And then I literally relaunched my game too and they're still destroyed. What happened?
F in the chat.
Okay, now they just went back to normal. What? Oh my god. They're going from like 75 max.
What if Bonnie
like,
from Five Nights at Freddy's 1 became the Chungus?
I don't want to imagine that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Please forgive me, good friend.
No, sorry, I'm actually gonna report you.
No. The CIA, they're here and they're arresting me.
On the topic of frame rate, so like 3 hours ago, I was playing Escape, and I remembered a conversation I had with Soup about frame rate in this game and how it like affects AI. So I had the brilliant idea of lowering my frames to like some really uneven, weird number. Like I lowered it to 24.3. And I loaded up a game of Escape, and Slender like literally spawned instantly every time.
That's awesome. I should do that and then get like a sub 20 time, which isn't possible, I don't think.
There's two issues though. The first issue is that you're playing on a slideshow, like you're literally waiting for frames.
It's like a 2007 Let's Play.
Like a unregistered hypercam video. But and then also for some reason, well, I mean, it's like common sense as to why this happens, but your load times are like an extra 2 seconds longer.
Oh.
So even if you were to like abuse this frame rate thing in like a full run, you'd still probably get like a time worse than your PB because the loading screens would just add up a lot.
Is there a way to make the frame rate so bad that Slender pops in before you get a single window? Actually, I don't know about a single window, but before you get like 3?
No, that would go against the game's logic because...
Okay, never mind.
If it were like... That just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
There would have to be some like... I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah, because like a decent amount of seconds of like the run is just like... He is here, and like the opening cutscene type of thing. So like, I don't think adding that would be worth it for world record attempts.
Essentially, what happens when you have lower frame rate? At least from my theory, because I don't know how programming works, but just off of my basic assumption, the lower frame rate you have in this game, the faster things will happen, like the more aggressive Slender will be, because the game relies on frame rate or like frames to like make inputs happen. So the lower the frame rate, the more the game is trying to like make happen at once, I guess. Like it's trying to put in more requests for something to happen. I don't know how to explain it properly.
I think I get what you're trying to say though.
The game's trying to do more than... It's like putting in money into a bag that's already full. That makes sense. I don't know.
I get what you mean though, like what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and it's just trying, and so that's why Slender, I guess, just becomes extremely aggressive because the game is putting in so many inputs at once with little frames. So I guess it just fucks itself and he just spawns in front of you.
10 out of 10 game design.
Well, it's not even the developer's fault. It's actually, this is like probably the only time I'm ever going to say it's not the developer's fault, because everything else about this game is terrible and it is the developer's fault, but this one actually isn't, because this game runs on an older version of like Unity.
Oh,
so it's just a, Unity thing. It's just a Unity thing rather than a programming thing.
Yeah, me being stupid was just assuming that the fucking developers made it all from scratch.
No, I mean,
I was gonna be like, then that would be kind of cool. Yeah.
It was literally like, no matter how they programmed it, it would still probably, because it uses like the engine itself relies on frames.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Like I said, I know nothing about programming, so I'm probably like
Yeah,
entirely
the
wrong about
only
it.
shit I have like a decent amount of experience with is C, but I've never made like a game in
C#?
C. No, just plain C.
Oh, I thought there was only like C plus and C sharp or whatever.
There's C, C++, C sharp, and then there's Holy C, which is like a schizophrenic's version of it. I'm not even joking.
You know how little that like narrows it down for me? A schizophrenic version. That tells me absolutely nothing about it.
I know. Well, no, like the guy who made Holy C was a schizophrenic programmer who made his own operating system all on his own, no help from anyone. Which
Oh, wait,
to do that all is it was the guy
are you
who
talking about the guy who
Terry
died
Davis.
from getting hit by it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I felt so bad. Like he was actually a really like intelligent dude. It's
Yeah.
just unfortunate he had all those issues.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I knew nothing about the guy. I only heard about his like
People were just complaining.
or whatever.
Yeah, people were just complaining. Oh, he said a ton of racist and mean things, which people need to understand. Like, I'm not saying that the shit he was doing and saying was okay, but it is a trait of schizophrenia to just like say outlandish, crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, like obviously it's wrong.
Yeah,
it's wrong, but the guy, I mean, he probably doesn't even know what he's saying. He's probably like so out of it, he doesn't even understand what he's even saying anymore.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with schizophrenia. And even like, kind of off topic, but even like alcoholism, like when someone's drunk, it's not even, you're not even talking to them anymore. So like anything they do is probably like if they were to do something like, I don't know, punch a fucking frog or whatever, like
sorry, that's
probably
funny.
that was pretty funny, but like if they were like sober, they probably wouldn't punch a frog. So like my point is like they definitely wouldn't do that if they weren't in that state of mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, those things that he said definitely doesn't reflect who he is, because that's just his schizophrenia talking. It's not actually him.
Yeah. He was a genius though. It was just really unfortunate what he had to put up with. And especially when like he would live stream like some of his development on YouTube at one point, and people like doxed him and kept calling him and like saying a bunch of like weird cryptic things to him, and that's like so fucked up. Like the man is, I don't know, fucking people on the internet are just ruthless.
Like the joke. I always found a joke funny of going up to a schizo person just saying numbers, but actually doing it is where it crosses the line. Like I thought people just joked about it. I didn't know people actually did that shit to like schizos. Like that's just fucked up.
Yeah, like there's a whole I don't know, you've probably seen the documentary. You know the channel that does Down the Rabbit Hole or whatever?
No, I haven't seen like a documentary on him. I know what happened. I just haven't like seen an in-depth like analysis of everything.
Okay, well there's a good video called Temple OS Down the Rabbit Hole or something like that, because Temple OS was his operating system.
Yeah,
and it actually goes in like detail and kind of goes over like the history of his presence online and like how people started trolling him and how he went crazy for lack of a better term. I don't mean to demean the fellow.
And I can guarantee 100% the same dipshits who were like literally driving him to kill himself are probably the same people now who are going, oh dude, he was so intelligent, I loved him, or whatever.
Oh yeah, just fucking
probably the same fucking people saying
it's just a bunch of dumbasses online thinking they're funny. Yeah. And it's all fun and games in the moment till it's like the same anytime people like troll somebody online, it's like, oh, it's so funny in the moment. Maybe you might feel that way, but you have to realize like it's a human being at the end of the day, and like fucking harassing them goes a little beyond just trolling them, you know?
Yeah,
it's all fun and games until something really bad happens.
I read somewhere that like authorities couldn't determine, because he got hit by a train, but authorities couldn't determine if it was like a suicide or if it was an accident.
Yeah, I think that's still unconfirmed. And then there's like fucking
I'm assuming
people.
it was a suicide, but since he had schizophrenia, it also brings the question of if he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. And then there's people
So-
online who are just like still memeing saying, "Oh, it was the CIA that killed him." Like, what? Like, really?
No.
It's just fucking. It's just upsetting.
It is, yeah. Yeah, poor dude.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of the whole Etika situation, if you know.
Oh yeah, I loved Etika. I watched him since his Mewtwo video.
Yeah, I didn't like. I don't know. I think it was like back in 2016, 17. I didn't really watch him, but whenever he did like his horror like reaction or deep web videos, like I was all for
Oh
that shit
yeah,
at the
those
time.
videos
Like,
were great too.
I loved his reactions and like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know what like made him start spiraling out of control and stuff, but I do know like once he started like I guess making it apparent that he was going through some mental shit, his chat just started clowning him
Yeah, I
and just
know.
being
That shit
pieces
was
of shit.
fucking awful.
Like before he killed himself, like literally all of his live streams were just filled with people spamming like clown emojis and stuff. And it was so like clear that he was just out of his, he wasn't in reality anymore. He was so fucking out of touch, and people were just same thing with Terry. Like they were just shitting on him and calling him a clown. When, I'm pretty sure like. In my theory, I think the reason why he was acting like that in the first place was to reach out, but I don't think he knew how to reach out. And then once he saw like all the clown emojis and people shitting on him like that, that's when I think it just got worse for him.
Yeah, like I watched him since I was in seventh grade, and he passed away when I was in 11th grade. When I didn't really. Like, I watched YouTube and shit and Twitch and shit, but, well, he wasn't on Twitch since, like, 2014, but I digress. Like, I watched YouTube and shit, but I never really started, like, actively commenting or uploading myself until around the time he passed. But by the time I started, like, actually using YouTube and making, for lack of a better term, content myself, like, he was already going through his like mental problems, and I think by the time I started, it was the first time he like deleted his channel was I think in October of 2018, where he just like he just like uploaded porn to his channel just to get it taken down.
Yeah, I know he uploaded. It was like some hentai or I can't remember. I don't really care to remember, but he uploaded some porn. And it got him terminated, like, instantly.
Yeah, and then he made a second channel, and he said, oh, I just wanted to get out of a brand deal or something. And then people didn't think anything of it, and then the second time, people started clowning him when it was... Like, he had an interview with Keemstar, which, don't get me wrong, like, Keemstar is pretty annoying, but...
A fucking, like, death trap having an interview with Keemstar.
I know, that definitely didn't help.
Like, if you're gonna do an interview with somebody, do anybody but fucking Keemstar. Like, that guy is such... First of all, Keemstar doesn't give a flying fuck about anybody he has on his channel. It's simply for profit purposes. He doesn't give a shit about anybody.
Like, I'd say, like, in the past, like, year or two, Keemstar has become, like, a little more, like, a normal human being. But, like, back then, Keemstar was just,
back then, he was a total piece
yeah,
of shit.
he was just doing... He was having all types of people on just to drive traffic to his channel.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I was more of, like... I watched Scarce more than fucking Keemstar.
I didn't really watch either of them, if I'm being honest. But I watched the video he did on Keemstar's channel. And some of the stuff that Etika was just saying on that, like, you could tell that it was somebody who was mentally troubled.
I mean, he was literally going... He would go on whole rants in his live streams about how he was a god and...
Yeah, and how, like, he believes in, like, the Antichrist and shit, when, like, that's not that fucking Etika that we know. Like...
Yeah.
Like, he used to, like... say, yeah, I believe in God and shit, and now he's like, I'm a god, I'm the Antichrist. Like, that's just... From someone to go there from where they were previously, it's just like you can tell that something's not right, and the fact that people were just clowning him instead of trying to help him or get him help, it just fucking makes me angry. Because I fucking loved his videos. Like I wasn't as active in like the Nintendo community as he was, but just I don't know, just his energy. It was just so fucking awesome.
Yeah. You know, like I know he was really big in like the Smash community, I think.
Yeah.
Or just fighting community in general. Like he was a huge figure in that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, from all the streams that I've watched and like videos of him, like he had like probably the most energy I'd ever seen in a human being. That guy was fucking off the rails with like content.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like you could argue like most of the content came from his gameplay, but that shit is just far from the truth. Like most of his stream was like lit up by just his personality.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, like,
imagine if he was like still around during like the initial quarantine. How fucking entertaining that would have been. Holy shit.
True, I would have binged his shit. Even if it was like Smash, I still probably would have watched him. Like it's not even the gameplay, just his fucking reactions and shit were just amazing.
Yeah, like
it's so much energy.
Imagine what his reaction would have been when he finds out that fucking Steve from Minecraft became a playable character in Smash. He would have fucking broken his fucking computer out of like both excitement and anger, probably.
He would have lost his shit.
Yeah.
If he was so fun for that. I don't know. And then like I remember watching his like final video before he
oh yeah.
He was really apologizing to people. Like he felt the need, like he owed people an apology, which is just so devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Like if anything, we owed him an apology. By we, I mean the pieces of shit that like, you know, were trying to clown him and stuff. Like those are the people that deserve to apologize. But like I don't know, it's so sad. But that just shows how good of a person he was. Like even though he obviously did nothing wrong, he still felt like he had to apologize to everybody.
Yeah.
It's so messed up.
Like the first video of his I watched was like him screaming at Mewtwo being announced as DLC for Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U, but the first time I actually started like watching him consistently was around the time the FNAF 3 trailer came out, and he put out a reaction to it, and he was just like screaming like before the trailer even started. That shit was golden.
Yeah. That's Etika.
Yep.
Joy-Con forever.
Yep. And I tried, so there's like some YouTubers that he was somewhat affiliated with, like Shofu. Shofu was mainly known for like his Pokemon stuff, although I don't think he likes Pokemon anymore for good reason, I guess, because it kind of fell. Pokemon games aren't as good as they used to be, but
nothing about Pokemon, if I'm being real.
Oh, well, the games definitely took like a nosedive in quality ever since they came to the Switch, pretty much. But anyway, I'm just glad we still have people like Shofu, and I'm trying to like cherish people like him, because after losing Etika, like there's just I don't want to lose anyone else in that kind of circle.
I get that.
Because I don't know, they're all pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
And like at the end of the day, they're not just content creators; they are people. And
they are humans. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's what people need to keep in mind.
Behind the screen than what people take into account.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that, you know, like I feel like there needs to be more people. Like the main thing I've noticed with most content creators who have killed themselves is that there's just nobody there for them in person. Like all these people have like such a huge fan base, but there's just nobody like actually reaching out to him, or like that did reach out to him. I guess like he needed better friends and shit.
Yeah, because like, and a lot of the time, like they have connections with other content creators, but you know, not every content creator is within like driving distance, reasonable driving distance of another.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure Etika was in Brooklyn, and I think someone like Shofu is, I think he's in Cali, but I could be completely wrong. But either way, like if that's true, then you know like those two, they're on opposite sides of the country pretty much. So it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to reach out, and that's just like one example. But yeah,
I mean, Terry had it fucking horribly. The dude was schizophrenic. He was like borderline homeless.
oh yeah, like
I can
the
only
down the rabbit hole
imagine how
video
little.
kind of touches on that. He apparently there was like he lived with his parents briefly, and then I think he was out on a drive somewhere, and his schizophrenia was like really bad, and he took apart his car in the middle of like the Arizona desert or something because he thought like the CIA was tracking him or something. And then when a couple cops pulled over to the road because you know they wanted to help him because they noticed, hey, this person's just walking in the middle of the desert, something must be up. He thought the cops were like agents sent by the government to kill him or something, and he like freaked out. Which obviously like that's not true, but you know what is like he can't really tell for himself because his mind
Well,
is
yeah, I mean,
playing
he's
games
literally
with
out
him.
of reality.
Yeah,
He's in his mind.
it's pretty sad, man. It's like, damn. Fuck.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't wish anybody with schizophrenia. That shit literally like ruins people's lives.
Yeah.
So awful.
And I feel like as soon as like as soon as you see like signs of it, I mean I'm not a doctor, so I guess I can't say this, but try to get the proper meds as soon as possible. And and that's coming from somebody who is
Well,
sometimes
I don't
reluctant
think
to take medication because
I don't think like if you have signs of it, you should instantly look
well,
for
yeah, I know.
medication.
I'm not saying that,
First step.
but like keep a watch on them, and if you notice them, like if shit gets really bad, then try to get. Although the thing with that is, if you try to tell a schizophrenic person, they could be different for different people, but if you try to tell a schizophrenic person, take this pill and you'll be normal. Well, I don't know if that's the way you would word it, but they might just take it like that, and they'll think, oh no, the fucking government is trying to poison me or something. I don't know. It's just there's so much shit that can go wrong, and I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I'm just gonna stop rambling about it. 'Cause I'm probably not explaining what I'm
I mean,
trying to explain.
put it in simple terms. If you have symptoms of it, or you think you have symptoms, reach out to a doctor. That would always be the first step, is reaching out to a doctor. Because realistically, you're not going to get medication for schizophrenia until you reach out to a doctor, because all of that is prescribed by a doctor. It's not like
Yeah.
over-the-counter shit that you
Yeah.
can get. So you would have to find a doctor, and then they can diagnose you with it. And even if it's not schizophrenia or it's something else, they can still probably figure out what it is and give you the right medication if you need any.
Sorry, I have the hiccups. That's why I keep like hiccuping into the mic almost.
Like,
Yeah, I
the
know
thing
that
with-
a lot of thing
for
with
example-
schizophrenics is they believe that their brain is itself is like compromised by like the government or some entity that wants to hurt them. And a lot of the
Yeah.
times they just say the government, like, I don't want to get political, never mind. Like the government can do some shady shit, but some trust is
No,
required for it to
I-
function properly.
Look, there is not a single logical, like, there's not ever going to be a time where the government is specifically out to get you unless you have, like, classified documents or some shit. If you're just a normal citizen, the government will never even know you exist. Unironically. Like, unless you are in, like, some deep, deep rabbit hole and shit they don't want you to see or know about, you have nothing to worry about with that. but I don't
or
know.
you're in like North Korea or something. But in like the U.S., like, yeah, some shady shit probably goes down behind closed doors, behind the scenes. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't affect like the daily life of 99.999% of citizens.
Yeah. Oh,
Better to
that's what I
ignorance
was
is
gonna
bliss, as
say.
they say.
I was gonna say earlier about symptoms. So like to touch on that a bit more, like for example, OCD. Now I'm not saying OCD is similar to schizophrenia, which because that's just not fucking true at all. But like I have severe OCD, and I like kind of like a symptom with that is now once again I'm not comparing my OCD to schizophrenia,
Yeah, I
but
know.
I'm just saying like when I have like intrusive thoughts. See, like mine is so bad. When I have intrusive thoughts, it doesn't feel like a thought. It feels more of like an actual person telling me it.
Mm.
So it feels more severe than a thought and more convincing because it actually feels like someone is talking to me.
Oh.
But yeah. So that's what I mean by even if you feel like you have symptoms of what you might think is schizophrenia, it could just be like OCD or some other like thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, I mean OCD is like nowhere near the intensity of schizophrenia. That shit is an entirely different league, but you can still easily mistake it because it is like I guess a voice in your mind or like
Yeah.
urges or well, I don't really know if schizophrenia has like urges and stuff, but
Yeah, the
well,
closest
I guess
thing
it
I have
technically
to what you have to go through is like, which a lot of people feel, but definitely not to the degree that you feel. You ever get intrusive thoughts like right when you're about to fall asleep, where you're like relaxing, and then it's like your brain is just taunting you. Here's something stupid you did 10 years ago that doesn't matter, but think about it. Ooh, like that type of shit. Do you ever have that where like a thought just randomly pops in your mind when you're trying to sleep that like either puts you in a shitty mood or creates a negative scenario that never happened, or just like a random memory of something slightly embarrassing or awkward you did and it feels like a bigger deal than it is. That's the closest thing I have to like that's what I mean when I say I get intrusive thoughts sometimes, but I doubt it's like anywhere near as bad as what people with OCD have to face. The only disorders I know I have are ADHD and high functioning autism. But although I've gotten a lot better with certain autistic things, mainly socializing and shit, like I used to just not want to talk to anybody, but I'm talking to
right.
you now. That's better than nothing.
I like I've always been like reluctant to say like I think I might have autism, especially with like I don't know. It's gonna sound really stupid when I say this, but I get really paranoid about saying like, oh, I have this, I have that, because my brain like tells me that I'm just saying it for attention. So I
Mm.
get paranoid that I'm doing things for attention when I'm really not. I think that's just my OCD talking, but like yeah, so I'm like really, really reluctant when it comes to talking about stuff that I have because I get
Yeah,
paranoid that I don't actually have it and then it just comes off like I'm saying it for attention. But
yeah.
like
I only say
I
stuff if I've been diagnosed.
yeah,
Just because
but
there are
like
people
I
like
get
on the internet who like you see those videos of people making fun of people on
yeah, like
TikTok where
Tourette's and shit.
they
They like
fake
fake
having Tourette's and it's just so obviously like acted.
Yeah,
It's just
I don't know.
it's disrespectful. And
But I
I don't know.
guess I have like some symptoms of autism. I really am not educated in autism and stuff like that, so I really
I'm
don't
not
know,
really
but
either.
I have like really bad social interactions. Like my entire life I've always noticed that I kind of like and it's not that I don't want to like or it's not that I want to like I really don't, but I always and especially in like a conversation with more than one person, I tend to always shift the topic onto me, or like I always interrupt people unintentionally. Like two people could literally be talking in like a three-person conversation, and I'll just like start talking while they're talking. And it's not even like I realize I'm doing it. I just start doing it. Like the moment I have something to say, even if like two people are, or like even if like someone is still talking, I still like interrupt them and say
Yeah,
what I
it's
have to
like,
say.
yeah, it's
I
like you
don't
want to
wait for
say what you
people
want
to
to say
respond.
before the topic
Yeah.
changes, kind of thing. I used to do
Yeah,
that
like
too, but now I just kind of stay. I've learned to like force myself to stay quiet and then just get pissed off by myself if the topic changes.
yeah.
But I don't know.
Like it might not be autism, but it's just, I guess it's a symptom. I don't know. It's different for everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I also can't make eye contact, but I know there's many people
Yeah,
who don't
that
have autism that can't make eye contact for
yeah, it's
shit.
also like an anxiety thing that a lot of people have,
Yeah.
or sometimes even just like a lack of self-confidence sometimes. I know a big pattern with autistic people that I definitely have this is like struggling to like decipher like non-verbal like social cues and like body language and shit. I'm terrible at that, and I'm fucking 20 years old. Like
Yeah.
like if I'm like annoying somebody, I need them to tell me, you just made me uncomfortable, or you are annoying. Please don't do that. If they just like change their tone of voice or something, and I don't fucking know. I'm bad at like detecting shit like that, and shit like sarcasm. I am
Oh
awful
yeah.
at sarcasm. Like I can be sarcastic myself sometimes, but if somebody's being sarcastic to me or joking with me, sometimes I think like I literally can't tell, and I just assume that they're
It just
being
goes over
serious.
your head.
Yeah, like that shit. I struggle with that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
There's probably some autistic people out there who don't, but I don't fucking know. Although I don't think it's really fair to like, because I'm pretty high functioning for an autistic person. I don't think it's fair at all to like put me in the same category as like a nonverbal autistic person,
Yeah.
because I don't think that's fair to them. Because
I get it.
yeah, because they have like they face a lot more challenges than I ever will.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen autism like at its absolute worst. Like I have a friend who also has autism, but I'm pretty sure he's high functioning like you, but he has a brother who is maybe like 3 years younger than him, and he has it like he's not high functioning. Like he straight has that shit at the worst possible, like the worst possible uh outcome. I don't even know what I'm saying. He just
I know
has
what
it
you're trying to
bad.
say. I don't know the word
Yeah,
either though.
he just has it bad is what I'm trying to say. And like I've seen and heard him before. Like he has trouble just saying like sentences, and he's almost like, I think he's like 15 now, but he can't even like, he can't say sentences really.
Yeah.
He gets angry at like literally everything. Like he gets angry at everything. I feel like a lot of it is kind of his parents' fault, because they didn't really like, I mean, I know my friend's parents are kind of shitty and they didn't really like parent well, but he gets mad at everything, and he doesn't even like understand basic social stuff. I don't know. Point is,
Yeah.
he's really bad. He's really, really bad.
Yeah, like when I was in, I think from grade 5 all the way to like my freshman year of high school, I participated in the Special Olympics, and I stopped doing that specifically because I realized that like I'm way more high functioning than the others, and I just feel like it's, I don't mean
Not
this
your
to be
place.
mean, but I feel like it's a little unfair,
I get it.
because I would actually like, at least like around ninth grade, around like 7th to ninth grade, I was probably in my best physical shape compared to now, where I haven't really got as much exercise because mainly over COVID, I kind of got out of shape.
Good, yeah.
But yeah, um, and like stuff like, well, events like 100-meter dash, like I'm not like the best sprinter, so like I wouldn't like always win that, but stuff like long jump and shot put, I would usually win by quite a margin. But that's because like the others, they're just trying to have fun, where I was actually trying to like break my personal best or something back then, which I don't know. But yeah, like it's just, I feel like it's definitely a nice competition to have, but it's just like I felt kind of bad, so I stopped doing it in 10th grade because I just feel like it's not fair to put me in the same category as like someone who can't talk,
I get it.
or like not even can't talk, but like I don't mean can't talk as like mute, but like autistic can't talk.
No, I get what you mean.
And like they don't necessarily know what's going on. They need to have like an EA with them to like it's unfair to them.
I think like another well, not really on the topic of that, but another thing that I have, and I'm not saying it's related to autism, but I guess another weird quirk that I have with me is that
Quirky
and
at
this
night.
is, I've literally
Sorry.
done this, like I've done this literally my entire life, like ever since I was born. I like, whenever I get excited, I like rock back and forth a lot. And my hands like have a fucking spasm. Not like actually have a spasm, but I'll like shake my hands a lot.
Yeah,
I
I get what you
excited
mean.
about something. Yeah, like I've literally done that since I was born. My parents have told me, like when I would be in the car, like listening to music with them or something, like when I was really young, like I would rock back and forth and shit. And like I don't know, and I've had that since I was born. Like when I'm excited or if I'm like listening to music, like I'll like move my hands and shit, and I'll like rock back and forth. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that is a trait with some autistic people. I don't have that. The closest thing I have to that is like when I listen to music, I bob my head. But I think a lot of people do that. But I don't like. I don't know what the exact word is, but I don't like make movements like rocking back and forth or anything like that. But but definitely it is a thing with some people. Why am I making?
I mean, I guess with autism, you really can't like self-diagnose yourself, because at the end of the day, it could just be like a weird quirk you have.
Yeah, and it is a spectrum too. Like that's literally autism spectrum disorder. So like it's different for like pretty much everyone.
I may have like socializing issues and a few weird quirks, but other than that, I have literally nothing that an autistic person would have besides those things. Like loud noises and shit like that don't really faze me.
Oh, they bug me a lot. That's why like I scream at Slender sometimes.
Yeah, and then like what you said about not being able to tell things socially, I'm like the complete opposite. Like I can literally tell when a shift in like mood change happens almost instantly. Like I don't know, I don't need to be told if like I make someone uncomfortable or like something is wrong. Like I can just instantly like I literally myself ask, hey, are you good? Like did I say something messed up? Like I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. Like I'll literally go out of my way myself to like make sure.
Oh yeah, I do that sometimes, and like I always like as just a rule of thumb is like making people uncomfortable. I make sure to never get physical in any way, because not because I've gotten in trouble for it before, that has never happened, but because like I've learned the common sense.
God.
What?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Continue talking. I'm sorry. I just like
Slender or something.
Yeah, I just had like a really big gamer rage. Keep going, I'm sorry.
I just like, from a lot of experience, not because, like, I've never, like, touched anyone. That sounds weird when I say it like that. But,
no,
like...
I know what you mean,
But like, sorry, I'm making hot dogs. But like eventually it's just, at a certain age, it's just common sense. Like, keep your hands to yourself. But I have heard of like some. Fuck! I put the fucking hot dog in the wrong thing. I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, like I've never gotten physical with
Get to a
anyone.
certain age.
But yeah, at a certain age, it become, at least for most people, some autistic people might still struggle. Like a lot of people struggle with like knowing boundaries, but that was something that I always understood in a physical sense. But in terms of like what I say, I might make somebody really uncomfortable if I like make. It's like that meme where it's, oh, I used personality A with friend group B or something, and I said like a weird joke or something like that, Or it's like I say like something not like edgy, but because I'm not like 12 anymore, but I'll say something that might offend like a tiny amount, what I think is a tiny amount of people, because it's a joke, but then it actually like upsets some people, and I sometimes struggle with doing that to this day. That's what I mean when I say like make people uncomfortable. I mean like with what I say or the type of jokes I make, which I don't make like, oh, 9/11 edgy pedophile XD racism. Like I'm not like that, like 12-year-old fucking edginess shit, but although I probably was when I was like 12. But I just don't really say that shit to people's faces because they'll think I'm
like
crazy.
The biggest piece of shit when I was younger. Like,
oh yeah,
like
I when I was like
12 to 14, maybe a little bit of 15. I would like.
Sam. I was saying like slurs and shit in real life. I was like fucking awful.
Yeah, I don't know. Like my friend group
then I became normal.
Were, like telling me to shut the fuck up because all I did every 2 seconds was either say the N-word or some other thing. Like I just was so fucking edgy.
Yeah, that was me too.
Terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, at least we've grown out of it though. At least I hope. For the most part, sometimes when I like get mad at a game, like the demons will come out again. But I don't know why I said it like that. That was kind of weird. But yeah.
No, like I'm all for like edgy humor, I guess. Like sometimes it
yeah,
really
like if it's funny, it's funny. But if
directly like
if you're just spewing racism and it's not, there's like no punchline whatsoever, then it gets kind of stale pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't know, because like for example, the whole Peter Griffin N-word meme is fucking hilarious.
I know.
It's ironic because it's Peter Griffin saying the N-word. The whole punchline is that Peter Griffin from fucking Family Guy is saying the N-word. That's the joke. But just seeing like GIFs that just have the hard R with some random ass like the caption is just a hard R and it's just some random video or like I don't know, a fucking cat drinking milk or something. I don't fucking know. Just something random.
It's like
that's
what?
not funny. Like there's no punchline. It's just the hard R.
Yeah.
It's just random racism. It's not funny.
Yeah.
I used to be, well, it wasn't really my friend group. It was my friend's friend group, but they were like, there was just full of racist people. Like they literally, like their entire vocabulary consisted of the N-word and any other slur you can think of. There was no like actual like competent sentences. It was just slurs.
Average 4chan conversation.
It literally was the most cringe, fucking awful shit on the planet. And these people, I mean, I wasn't fazed by it. I'm gonna be honest. These people were like a year or two younger than me. They were just cringe as shit. But they would like, once they knew that I was like a part of the LGBT plus, like they started, I don't know why I fucking said it like that, but they like started just straight targeting me and just saying the most unhinged fucking dog shit things imaginable.
Well, they're just not your friends if they're intentionally trying to annoy you.
They weren't my friends to begin with. I never really talked to them. Yeah, like I said, this wasn't even my friend group. This was my friend's friend group. I was just in, the only reason why I was in that like server to begin with was because I was just curious because I was like, hey, do you have a friend group? And he was like, yeah. And then I just asked to get an invite because I was just curious. But then I saw that these were like actual pieces of shit. And I was like, homie, why do you hang out with these people? And he was like, oh, I know, they're fucking awful. I'm not like... I mean, it's so strange because he says he doesn't find what they say funny, yet then again, he laughs at literally everything. So I don't know. I think he's full of shit, but he tells me, he insists that he's not racist, but then he hangs out with those people. But I don't know. He doesn't hang out with them anymore because there was a drama recently. Well, not recently. This was like last year, but there was like a drama, and then he fucking left the group. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. They're pieces of shit. I'm glad you stopped talking to them, but I'm still confused as to like how he even still talked to them in the first place because they were just real fucking assholes. Like, just complete scum idiots.
Usually, like, I can get along with pretty much anyone. Like, I have LGBT friends. I also have like really racist friends. That sounds weird when I'm like saying it like that, but like I don't know. I can get along with pretty much everyone as long as like, you know, you treat me like a human being, I treat you like a human being. Yeah. I know that's a very weird way to look at it, but I don't know. I can get along with most people except for like I was about to say the N-word. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Except for like people who are like pedophiles or something. I can't really get down with that. Shit like that.
Well, obvious reasons, yeah.
Yeah, like there's obviously like some exceptions to the rule, but most people I can, you know, find some common ground with one way or another.
Okay, but let me ask you this. If there was like, let's say a person who was aware that they were sexually attracted to children or just minors.
What? I don't like where this is going, but continue.
No, just listen. And they were well aware of it, but they knew that it was very wrong, and they didn't go. They tried their absolute like hardest to just stay away. Okay, why am I like saying it like that? Like they want to. Like they just stay far away from children. They know that they aren't, like, it's not good for them to be around children, so they stay far away and they try to get the help they need. Would you respect somebody like that?
If they realize they have a problem and are actively trying to better themselves and have not made any, they have not acted on anything, and they just realize that they have a really bad problem and they're getting the help they need, I can respect that. But if it's someone who is completely in denial, saying, like, those people on fucking To Catch a Predator who are just in denial saying, oh, no, it's their fault. They're the one who invited me here. Like, if it's someone like that, I just don't really have any respect for them. But if they're actively trying to... If they realize that it's a serious problem they have and they are bettering themselves, like, you know, there's a saying... Fuck, how did I fuck up that order? Whatever. Every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. Like, everyone deserves a second chance to an extent, you know? Like, if you fucking...
Yeah.
If you're just like if you have no remorse whatsoever, then fuck you. Fucking...
Yeah.
You're
awful.
awful.
I feel like there's a fine line between that. Like, if they had already basically ruined a child's life, I feel like there should be no redemption for them.
Yeah.
They already, like,
yes,
went out of their way
if it's a child, yes. If
life.
it's a child, definitely.
Yeah.
There is... A quote from Jesus himself: if somebody corrupts one of the little ones, it is better for them to have a millstone tied around their neck and have them thrown into the sea. That's a quote from Jesus himself, from one of the Gospels.
But the reason why I asked you that question was because I had a thought like that one time, like, just thinking, like, even if they, like, just knowing that they had the most fucked up thing imaginable, and, like, knowing, like, most people, like, if they were to know that person was, like, a pedophile, they would probably just stop talking to them altogether. Like, even with that, even if they were, like, to just be, like, they know there's something wrong with them, and they actively do their best to not be around children and better themselves, or get the help they need. Like, I feel like I could still respect them as a person.
Yeah. Once they commit an action, though, then yeah, fucking game over.
Once they cross the line and go through with an urge, then that changes everything entirely.
Yeah.
But if they, like, do their hardest to not do anything, and they get the help, and they never actually act on anybody, I can respect that.
Yeah.
But I literally have yet to hear about a pedophile who actually thinks like that. Like, okay, what I have is really bad.
Yeah, a lot of them are
And
just
I need
like
to get help.
denying
I
it
need
just
to consider
because
the children.
they know how bad it is, yet their pride, for lack of a better term, won't let them change their ways because they're too fucking selfish. I don't know how else to word it.
I think it's selfishness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And then there was this YouTuber. I don't remember their name. You'll probably know the name. I don't know, but they were exposed for, I don't know if it was an actual minor. I think it was a setup by somebody, but they got, or no, I think it was a minor, but he got nudes from a minor, and then that minor ended up basically exposing his dumbass. And he came out with an apology. I put apology in quotations because it was really not an apology. It was really just shifting the blame onto the victim. But he was basically saying, like, oh, like, I shouldn't have talked to her. Like, I can't believe she would set me up like that. Like, he was basically admitting that, yeah, he was basically admitting that he was a pedophile, but he was literally saying, oh, I shouldn't have talked to her. Fuck. Like, oh, I got set up. Like, this is her fault. Why the fuck would she do that to me? Like, just the worst possible thing to come out
fucking,
with. Like, what a fucking idiot. But yeah, like...
Yeah, there should be fucking, like, child predators. They should be castrated and thrown in solitary confinement for the rest of their life.
They should just be isolated from the entire world. If there is, like, a section of the world that has a child there, they should not be allowed into that part of the world.
Also, like, in prison, and like, I've never gone to prison. I don't know why I'm saying this, but from what I've heard, they don't treat, like, if someone in prison finds out you're, like, a kid rapist, they're gonna fucking murder you in there. They're gonna beat the shit out of you.
I've only heard, like, awful things that, well, I don't really want to say awful because with all due respect, it's fucking deserved, but, like,
with all due respect, he should be killed.
True. Like, I've heard people who were in prison already for murder. Like, I heard this one story about this guy who was in prison for murder, and his cellmate was convicted of sexually assaulting a child. I think it was his daughter. I can't remember. But he told the guy, like, hey, I'm in prison for molesting a child. And the guy just instantly goes, okay, look, man, I'm going to give you one chance to leave my cell and never come back. And then this fucking idiot starts trying to, like, justify what he did and, like, say, like, oh, come on, it wasn't really that bad. And I shit you not, this guy just loses his shit and says, okay, I warned you, and just fucking murders him. From how he described it and from how I remember it, he, like, slapped him, made him fall onto the floor, and just strangled him to death. Probably shouldn't have described that. That was really fucked up. But still, like...
Yeah, even, like, the worst of criminals, they don't get down with shit like that.
As a quote I've heard from many
even they have a moral code to an extent.
They have morals, which honestly, it's kind of beautiful to see that even the people who obviously have done some fucked up things, they still have morals and know that there is a line that should never be fucking crossed. Like, yeah.
Anyway, let's shift the conversation to something more positive because I'm almost done hot dog game.
True. Why the fuck are we talking about?
I have no idea.
What is going on?
Yesterday I was in a call with another one of my friends, and he started. He was playing like some. I forget what the game's called, Hearts of Iron or something like that. One of those games where like it's like a war simulator. I don't fucking know what it is, but and he was just like talking about like fascism and stuff because I guess I don't know if he was talking about that or if he was asking me like, should I be a fascist or should I be a democracy in this game? And it's like I don't know, dude. Whatever makes you win in the video game. We were just like, and we started briefly talking about like, I think, like alcohol and drugs and shit, and because I've never drank or done drugs, and then he just started going on a rant about how he once used a fake ID to get into a bar or something, and they didn't care. It's like, why are you telling me this?
I'm not gonna lie.
They knew I was recording too, and they were completely fine with saying.
I feel like, I mean, with alcohol, for me, I could never like do that stuff, like drugs or alcohol or whatever. I could never do that.
I
stuff
just don't understand the appeal of it.
I just don't like the idea of not being in control.
Yeah,
like,
same.
I heard this quote from somebody. I don't know exactly how it went. Or
if
no,
you
I don't
take
even
the
think it was a
fungus, then
quote.
you're not the chungus.
So true.
I just came up with that now. It's a bar.
But basically, it was this guy. Oh no, it wasn't a quote, but it was this guy talking about how a police officer said to him that if you go into a room with people who are all high from weed, not a single one of them is going to be aggressive. But if you go into a room full of people who are all blackout drunk, one of them is going to be dead in like under a minute. Which honestly is kind of true. I feel like weed or like just any other drug that isn't alcohol, I feel like you're not aggressive, but alcohol just brings out the absolute worst in you, and you just become a piece of shit.
Yeah, I
like
fight
all of your bad
alcoholics.
traits.
I'm just kidding.
I feel like all your bad traits are like just swapped with your normal, like good traits that are presented normally whenever you're drunk. Like everything bad just comes out. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm talking about alcohol.
It's
Let's
okay.
fucking talk about something positive.
Let's talk about Chungus. Chungus.
Holy fuck! You're about to finish, dude. You're about to finish hot doggeria. Fucking poggers, man. Fucking poggers.
Swagger. I said swag with the hard R. Swagger. Swag.
Dude, you can't say that. It's too swag.
Okay.
You're gonna get banned for swag. You fucking crackerjack. Unlike you, Freddy Fastsack, I don't hate the Jokers.
Jammy. I don't know what the word jammy means, but I think it sounds kind of funny.
Jammy?
Yeah, like.
Is that like a name?
Like, and I was thinking like, I'm pretty sure they're, you know, like how some people call pajamas jammies. Imagine just a singular jammy. That sounds kind of funny.
Let's fucking go! 50 resets in!
Swag.
Halfway to 100. Let's fucking go. I said that really loud.
Actually, I think there's an LL Cool J lyric where he says like the word jammy as like gun or something. When I got a jammy in my hand.
Those are mags, not jammies, you fucking dummy. They're mags. This is a magazine.
Lego critical. Lego piss at wool. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. This game I am playing.
My life is like a video game trying to beat the stage.
Oh, I'm actually kind of scared now. I want a sub 8-hour hot doggeria time. Come on. I have like just under 10 minutes, so I don't know if I can. I'll have to get lucky. But either way, my hot doggeria PB is like 9 hours, 7 minutes, so I'm gonna PB by at least an hour either way.
I'm gonna be for real. I just hit like
420 no scope swag.
Time.
Oh.
Oh, fuck you. You're a fucking reset, you fucking cow piece of shit. Sorry. As I was saying, I just got, like, the earliest possible time you can pick up a flashlight. Like, I clicked it at, like, the earliest flame... Well, I was about
flame,
to
fire emoji! Yo, bars,
for real.
Yep.
I hit it at, like, the earliest frame, and then did, like, a complete 180, and I still got it. Like, that was epic. And then I went upstairs and reset. Average Slender moment. By the way, the reason why I mauled so hard like 30 minutes ago was because I got like a 458 pages, which was really good. Like it was like a 2-blink chase sequence, which was fucking fire. And then I had an abyss where I got like a shit spawn, but every generator was like placed perfectly, or so I thought. So I had all the gens on left side, and I started going to the elevator. And keep in mind, my time was like 7:15. So I literally like it probably would have been an abyss record if I'm being honest. But then I realized that I still had 1 gen left.
Oh,
I thought I had all 6, but I
that
had
ain't
5.
no
So
Chang'e.
that's why I lost my shit, because I was actually really upset about it.
Oh.
It's okay, I'll get the Chungus eventually.
Yep.
The Chungus run will come shortly.
Yep. The Chungus run. The fungus comes in the Among
I've actually
Us
been
run.
really happy recently because I've sort of just figured out like what I want to do. I used to be really upset whenever I would speedrun this game because I would have the thought like, okay, once I get the sub 19 time, then what? But now I actually have like a game that I want to focus all my time into after this. So I don't know. Like I'm pretty much quitting speedrunning like FNAF and shit. I'm absolutely done with the FNAF series and FNAF fan games. Like the only FNAF fan game that I'll ever speedrun, or the only FNAF fan game series that I'll ever speedrun is like Five Nights at Candy's, because those games, admittedly, they're a lot easier to speedrun because they don't require frame perfect fucking fade skips to actually have a decent time in them, but you still have to like get good with like the F2 skips and stuff like that. But I don't know. The point is, it's a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. It's just a lot easier, and it's definitely less stressful. Because like the thing with any FNAF game made by Scott Cawthon, it's literally you have to handle the stress of each night, knowing that you could die because of the most unfortunate RNG on the planet. And then on top of that, you have to like literally hit frame perfect Alt F4 skips, and if you literally mess up by like a singular frame, your entire game just tabs out and the run is over. Yeah, like I wasn't gonna put myself through that, so I dropped it.
Understandable.
But like the thing with the FNAF series is that you don't have to worry about any of that, even though there's still like a ton of luck involved. You still don't have to worry about it. So that's like the only series I'm good with speedrunning.
Please be sub 8. Please be sub 8 hours. Please be sub 8 hours, or else I'm gonna cry in the shower. Yeah.
Holy shit, bars! Keep talking.
I be talking. I be walking. I be. Fuck, I don't know.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
Should I drop it on the Donald Trump? Probably not. My bars, they be hot. I fart out a rock.
Really funny, but it sounded funny in my head.
Come on, I need 600. Give me another like medal or two. Come on, come on, come on.
I'll
please
give you
have
a medal for
medal,
being the swaggish Lego Joker. Swag Joker.
Swag Joker tropical.
Holy shit, it's a fucking god, you stupid cow. Sorry.
You're good. Maybe if I hold on. Shit, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be sub 8 unless I get like 2 medals right now.
Does it really matter? Does it really matter if it's sub 8? I mean,
no, because it'll still be PB by like an hour, but fuck yeah.
Well, no, I mean like at the end of the day, the time is gonna be like 100 something.
Well, yeah,
hours
but I mean
long,
for this segment.
Oh no.
Yeah. Which I can just do it again. Cause if I have the energy to do this whole massive run, I'm sure like a 8-hour run won't fucking bug me that much.
Well, I feel like once after that run, you should probably, like the whole fucking massive run, you should probably just take a huge break, if I'm being honest. Like, if I were you, I would not touch a single game for speedrunning purposes for the next, like,
Yeah.
fucking month. Like, once I'm done with this Slender bullshit, I am probably, like... I'm probably gonna uninstall Slender after this, if I'm being for real. I'm never touching this dog shit ever again. No, it's gonna be a 123 poggers.
Actually, if I just... Give me a silver customer, at least. Bronze, fuck. Okay, yeah, rip sub 8. Unless... Hold on. It'll be close, 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 close. Schluck a joke.
Sub 8, like record or something?
No, I'm already behind record, but sub 8 hours would just be cool. World record's 7:44:44, I think. My PB's 9:07:15 from like 2 years ago. Okay. I can do it, I think I can do it. I just have to not fuck up this order and it's like free as shit. Right? Yeah, okay. I need 124 points, which I should be able to get if I don't fuck this up horribly. $124 or greater, please. 158, there we go. There's my sub 8. Let go. Bam, okay. Done hot dog game, switch to EDP 445 game.
Wait, you're done with it?
Yeah, I just finished hot doggeria.
What was the time?
I'll calculate that in a sec. Where is fucking Cupcakeria on my computer? Here it is. Open.
I'm lost, couldn't find the fucking
Oh, I wasn't even
application.
sharing my screen for you. I'm sorry about that. I just
Oh, no, you
shared it
don't,
now.
I'm gonna sound like a dick here, but I'm not even gonna watch it because I'm...
Oh, well, I'm doing it
so-
anyway. Okay, my hot doggeria
Take a
time was 7 hours. Hold on, let me fucking start Cupcakeria real quick. My hot doggeria time was 7 hours. I can't fucking do math in my head with time right now. 7 hours, 57 minutes, and 46 seconds, I think. It was sub 8, I know that. Which is swag.
Okay, well, this is pretty fucking shitty, but, whatever. I guess I'll just do the normal route then. It's actually, like, the worst thing ever when the tower at the beginning of, the field start?
Yeah.
Where you're in the cornfield? Yeah, when the fucking tower just isn't there, that's actually
Oh, yeah, that
awful.
shit is dumb.
It's actually not, like, terrible, because you can still, like... the issue isn't even, like, the page placement, it's actually just your stamina, because then you have to run... Because what I like to do is when the tower isn't there, I run straight to the other landmark, and then I run upwards to, the... Okay, well, that's building, I'm just gonna reset. Fucking hell. But, I run to... I don't even know what I'm saying, bro. I'm speaking fucking gibberish.
Gibberish. Shit and piss. I don't
So
know.
true.
I don't know. Fuck, I'm doing that again. Too much. Suck it, bitch. Should be good enough. I'm actually gonna pause my timer after day 1 of EDP game, just to end the recording and restart.